My life is pretty good. I'm young, I earn a good salary. I pretty much do what I want, when I want to. But one day I looked up and realized that my money seemed to be shrinking. How is it that the more that I earn, I always seem to have less? Where does it go? And when did I start losing track of it? So I've made a radical decision.
Good morning. I just want to find out how I can get my salary paid in R1 coins. No, I'm not joking.
I've decided I actually want to see my money. I want to see it and feel it and have it right in front of me 24 hours a day.
Can you just put it right here on the floor, please?
So for the month of July, I'm going to get my entire salary paid to me in R1 coins.
So this is what my salary looks like in R1 coins.
And I will live my life R1 at a time. I am the R1 man.
I want to jump like that Scrooge McDuck into the coins and swim around, but it's not quite big enough.
The purpose behind this exercise is to create awareness about our spending habits.
He's broken it down into almost its lowest common denominator.
He actually will physically see what he's spending his money on, and that being in touch with something physical changes the whole perspective around it and changes how you go about making a decision.
Well, you can almost think like half a bucket every hour's work. How many minutes, how many seconds? I have to think of another plan. Let's think. Got an idea. Every month I spend this amount of money. More, actually. The last one, right?
I think money is an abstract concept for most of us.
The fact is, most of us don't have the mathematical ability to visualize the money that we have and how it's being spent. And being able to see the big number actually brings it home as opposed to thinking about the big number. And that's just because of the way that we are wired as people.
Well, I'm going to take all my bank cards, physically put it in a safe. I actually called my brother over. My brother's going to take the key, and I'll have no access to any of this at all.
Hi, how are you?
You're in for a surprise, but all my cards going into the safe, and this is going to you. No matter what I say, no matter what I do not give the key back to me. We have to do this properly.
I agree, I'm happy with it. This bag is going to be yourself.
What do you think I'm gonna put it in when I go anywhere, bro?
I'm not too sure, you're going to look like Santa Claus.
Bye-bye, drive safe. Well, my brother's gone. Cards are in the safe. Internet banking is down. This money's not gonna count itself. Well, first of all, when I got the coins, my immediate thoughts when I started counting was to put it in little stacks of 10, but it goes to 100 and to 1,000. By using the little stacks, I just worked in volume and didn't need to physically count it. I could just work level. And it made sense at first, but yeah, I just went way too slow. Would never get through it in time for spending.
Literally after 6 hours, I barely made a dent in it. I even had to ask my girlfriend to come and help me. So after that, I threw it all into packets. I counted quickly by hand, 20s, and ticked it off the list as I went. It was also easy to transport it to my room when people come over.
Well, it's early morning. I'm on my way to work. Counted all night. It is going a lot quicker, but yeah, I've got clients to see and things to do. But I think I've got a game changer on the way. I actually did find out that it's possible to rent the scale for a day. How's it? Come in.
Jeremy.
Nice to meet you. Yes, you don't understand how much this thing is going to help me out.
I can imagine, Chip.
I actually need to pay you, so we can measure it out. We can check out the accuracy.
136.
Okay, great.
So you actually put it over.
Yeah.
And away you go.
Well, I went to the shop this morning, bought all these containers. The lady looked at me a bit funny. Got this little bad boy. Proved to me that I actually counted wrong for most of my packets. Definitely going forward from here. So from going 45 minutes for 1,000 down to 30 minutes per 1,000, I'm on 20 seconds per 1,000. I think that's a major success. Finding out I could hire it was definitely yeah, the best 136 Rand I've ever spent in my whole entire life. Okay, so eventually I finished counting all my stacks. This is basically my whole salary in front of me. You've got your tax, UIF, travel tax, pension, medical aid, car insurance, hell of a lot. We got your rent, all my credit, house utilities, DSTV, maid, water, electricity, and then I've got my spending money. Obviously too much goes to tax. Car. I don't know why I got such an expensive car in the first place. You get a budget for it and you think, okay, let's go for the maximum. You never think about just getting an average car and bringing the rest into savings.
The problem is that we have been taught to show that we have arrived.
6,000 Rand a month being paid on a car at this age is a lot of money.
That plus rent is a mortgage, you know.
Our 1 Rand man is not an exception. We see that from research across all South Africans, that we spend an awful lot of money on transport. Even the very affluent, it's either the biggest or the second biggest spend category.
I could have easily got a car for 3,000 Rand instead. It would be 2 stacks smaller, and that's already 2 grand that could go to investment.
Buy the least expensive car your ego can afford. We did an analysis on what a new car costs and what it's worth after 5 years. So typically if you buy a R500,000 car, R500,000 after 5 years, the car's maybe worth 250,000 Rand. If you invest that money in the stock market and you just have normal returns, not in an exceptional period of time, that same 500,000 Rand is worth 850,000 Rand. So after 5 years, the difference between 850 and 250 is 600,000 Rand.
Sure, credit. It really makes you look twice at taking out a loan, actually how much you pay back at the end of the day. None of this is making money for me. It just seems a little bit silly.
Big banks make money on providing individuals with overdrafts. So there's a lot of incentive from business to make people get involved in taking on debt.
That money is not his. It's the banks, it's the dealerships.
And you've got access to the bank's money, and you pay interest at sometimes exorbitant rates to access that money.
Interest is paid by those who don't understand it to those who do understand it.
Everything from this side to that side is just going to disappear, just in an instant. And that's all I have left.
The one asset that he does have on that table, he's overlooking completely.
He doesn't see the pension money as being his. He sees that as going somewhere else.
And it's one problem that we as South Africans have. We think that the money you put in your retirement savings, we think of it as an expense. That's not an expense, that's an investment in your future.
Yeah, I've cancelled all my debit orders. I got all my things sorted out, so now I actually need to find out how to pay, where to pay. Thought I might break my back trying to carry the Tupperware bucket, so I got myself a bag with wheels. Look like I'm gonna board an airplane pretty soon, but let's see what the reaction's gonna be. All the big bills to pay. Started off with the banks. This exercise took me about 2 hours at least. Generally it's 2 clicks, a couple of letters you type in, and it's all done on the computer.
In a way, the way he's living his life, it's a bit impractical. I mean, going to the bank with a whole bunch of Tupperware, we've evolved. Our society has moved on. We have computers. We can make electronic transfers. Those are meant to enhance our lives.
The system is a fantastic innovation. The behavioral impact on humans that have resulted from it, I suspect, is an unanticipated consequence of the convenience. It's numbers on a screen. It's not money in hand. It's not his own cash that's going out, so he doesn't feel it.
It definitely is real. Painful, but real.
I'll have to come back and bring you guys a chocolate. Credit cards, study loan, everything. I just paid my car as well, which is the biggest amount that went out. So most of the big amount is away from my house, so I can sleep better at night. It's such a weight off my shoulders, and yeah, excuse the pun, but it's actual weight that's off my shoulders. I had to keep it real, so nobody knew what was going on in the shops behind the counter, so I had my spy cam on me and my microphones and everything. So at least you'll have a lot of change. I mean, you must count softly now. I can't remember what I count.
I'm sorry.
4, so 75, 6, 7.
That's what they call it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm counting faster than you. Sorry for the trouble, eh? Well, I'm on the way now to pay my rent. Actually gonna go see the agents. All £1.
Wow, where'd you get that from?
With all this big orders finished now, don't need to go to the gym. Good workout for the guns. Looks like I'm a little low on petrol. It's gonna take ages, so might just put in $100 or so. 80. Can you fit it all in your hand? Don't drop it. It's really incredibly interesting how polite everyone is about it. I really thought someone would give me nonsense by now. Well, I need to go do my shopping for the week. Got a limited budget, so let's see what we can get.
It reminds me of my student days where you'd walk in with a certain budget and come what may, you can only spend that much. Once you start working, your ability to spend does increase, and over time, you stop looking at the prices.
Go with a shopping list, not having that in front of one. That allows us for the emotional brain to take over and to justify expenditure from an emotional perspective.
Thinking of the whole £1, just bought the absolute necessities. Took a little bit longer than usual because I actually had to start comparing the prices a little bit more. Luckily for me, the one that I normally pick is on special. I'm not sure if that's a good price or not because I didn't really look at the price before. I can't remember how much milk costs. So I always used to round down the amount. If it's $8.99, I would think about £8, or £24, I would round it down to 20. Always ends up being more, but I can't do that now, so that's not bad.
But I remember being a kid and we were in a toy store. My mother said to me, well, you must round up, don't round down. That's not 90 cents, it's £1. And I think too many of us, when we see something that's got a 99.99, we don't see it as the numeral higher.
So 1 cent changes the way you perceive the cost of the item.
Generally, when I'm done with my shopping and come to the magazines, I always buy a Men's Health. Now I'm really thinking, is it necessary now?
I think it's great marketing of shops to have the aisle of temptation before you actually pay.
At the end of the day, we've been rushing. Yeah, that chocolate will make me feel better. I worked so hard today.
They know that when you're standing in line, you're going to think, oh, what's another chocolate? What's this? You don't, at that point, you're probably thinking, oh, I've saved enough, or you're just so far off your budget, you don't care. The shops are just doing their jobs.
How's it going? Okay, can you help me count, please? And yeah, hopefully this will last me the week. Okay, cool. Thank you very much. This is what I have left. It's about 2 weeks in the month. It's exactly the same that I always used to have, but having overdraft and credit makes you think you have a lot more. And yeah, the budgeting is gonna have to start now. I wasn't really thinking what I was spending before. It wasn't everything counted, so I literally just took like hands of £1, hands of £1. Thought I still had a lot left. Doesn't look like that anymore, so I'm pretty exhausted so far from making all my payments, but my friends are going out tonight and usually I'd go with. The purpose of the exercise is not just to save. I have to live my life like I live my life normally, so hope I don't run out of money. Well, all the major debit orders and big amounts is out the way. Got everything under control. My whole system in place, transporting the stuff where I need to. I actually had a pretty good month so far. Went to go play golf with my brother at Devonvale. Went to wine farms. Can we have some more wine, please? Please. I'm starting to get a little bit worried. I don't know how much money is actually left as I'm sitting here. Well, actually, I'm not spending anything different. I'm buying the same amount of drinks that I normally have. My friends know what's going on, so they help me actually count the money when you put it out. But now at this stage, I've got too much money in my car and I'm probably going to spend most of it, so we'll see how it goes.
We're not robots, we're human at the end of the day, and we want to go out and have a good time, and otherwise it all becomes a bit boring.
But if he's able to budget appropriately to say, I'm going out tonight, this is as much as I want to spend, take that amount. Don't take extra on the off chance that you might want to use it, because you will end up using it. He's taking a pile of 1 rands. If you've just got a credit card, you're not even feeling that impact. You're just swiping, and come the next morning, you're not just there with a hangover, you're there with a financial hangover as well.
For every rand that he uses on credit, he has to pay 1 rand plus back. So the beer he's going to buy on credit is not going to cost him 20 rand, it's going to cost him 24 rand.
Well, I'm going on a date tonight. I have to show my girlfriend some appreciation. She's been very cool so far, dealing with all the 1 rands and all the reactions so far and the embarrassment. So just thinking bottle of wine plus minus 100 rand, 100 rand each for meals, and maybe dessert afterwards. So yeah, I think 400 should do it. Sorry.
Cash or card? It's cash. If you count it, it's going to be quite a mission.
Well, after our nice big date night, we decided to have a drink afterwards. Had a long chat, and it ended up that our differences are a bit too big, and we ended up calling it quits. It's not because of the 1 rands or because of the situation. Can't really talk much about it, but tonight my friends are taking me out just to get my mind off everything. Yes, I wish I still had my scale.
You need to start thinking about a normal month and how you're going to get your money to work for you instead of working for your money.
Yeah, and look, if you need extra cash, you can always come and wash my car. You know, my dog needs a bath and things like that. I still have the key, but I'm not going to tell you where it is. Unfortunately, no clues.
Go on.
Let's go on 1 clue. Give me 1 clue, man. We had a pretty good night last night. Went for a comedy show, a couple of shots of tequila and a few beers. It's my friend Sean's birthday this evening, actually this afternoon. Just going for lunch, easy, chilled lunch. Shouldn't be that expensive.
The reality is that money and psychology play a large part together. They closely intertwine. The way we live our lives, the way we define ourselves, the way we get over things, the way we deal with things. The car we drive makes us feel good about ourselves, the house we live in.
More than we realize, we're using money as a tool to pacify ourselves and to make ourselves feel better on a day-to-day basis.
Well, this is all I've left. 10 days to go. Went out yesterday for chilled lunch. One thing led to another, as usual. And yeah, I think I'm in a bit of trouble this month.
You know, here's this guy, he tried to do something that he thought was going to make him feel better, and actually just felt a whole lot worse, and he looked in such a bad place. I think it perhaps had a little bit less to do with the emotional breakup and more to do with the fact that he's now financially in a real tough place.
Well, generally, reaching this point, I wouldn't be that alarmed. I mean, I always dip back into your credit card or revolving credit, just transfer 1,000 here and 1,000 there, especially this time of month. But yeah, this is a bit scary with just dealing with these coins in front of me.
An individual should not see their credit card or overdraft as being the buffer.
You shouldn't see that overdraft as anything but actually trouble.
There is no room for something going wrong.
I mean, a flat tire, any little thing that could happen is gonna put me in a bit of trouble. Well, basically, I'm flat broke this month, as I was every month before. I thought I'll take advantage of a beautiful morning in Cape Town and do something that's absolutely for free.
I deal with a lot of very rich people. They got lots of money. It doesn't make you any happier. It just gives you a little bit more freedom in life.
4 days away from payday, and only have 200 rand left. Taking advantage of the simple things in life. Well, we're at the Armory Boxing Club, sparring a little bit with my buddy Sean. Nothing like getting a minor finance and getting punched in the face.
What he's had to reconcile with is spending the remaining 10 days on activities that don't cost money or don't cost a lot, or use what he's already paid for.
You can do things that's a little bit more healthy for your system. Healthier than drinking and eating takeaway food all the time. The fact that I'm quite broke this month, believe it or not, it's actually making me a lot less stressed. Well, I don't have to think about money because I don't have any money to spend.
We seem to think that we need to spend money to have fun or to feel like we're doing something.
It's once again re-looking at things, not getting caught up in what society tells us is right constantly.
Well, my production crew just offered me 1,000 Rand because they know I've been I'm very low, very broke this month. Still have a few days to go, and I only have about 180 Rand left. So here on the left is what I've been offered. And yeah, I'm very tempted, but when you look at it on the right side, that is what I'll have to pay back if you work on the average interest rates. Seeing the money in front of me now, you just come to the realization that you're not borrowing money from the bank. You're actually borrowing money from your future. Well, in the past, it would have been way easy for me to just transfer the money from my credit card. But yeah, seeing what I'm paying back, and it's a vicious cycle. You don't just borrow the one time. I mean, you'll do the same in August, and you'll do the same. It's a habit, and it'll just double up, and before you know, it's all out of control. And I've been living that life, but I won't be doing it in the future. I definitely can do it. I won't have a extravagant life or anything, but it's literally only 4 days to go. So yeah, definitely refusing the offer.
Before he'd dip into that overdraft facility, that magic money that he thinks is his.
By virtue of seeing the money and starting to realize the impact of borrowing from his future self, he's made an active decision to rather manage his spend so that he doesn't impact on his future self.
So it's the last day of the month. I've got exactly 8 Rand left. Oh, no, wait, it's 6 Rand left. I don't know what I did with it. Okay, so I've got 6 Rand left. I always used to spend 2 grand on credit at least. So basically I've saved 2,006 Rand. Well, in my head, I still feel young, but I am 32 years old. Responsibilities is gonna come pretty soon, I think. Don't know if it's gonna happen in the next year or the next 5 years, but I am probably gonna start a family or need a girlfriend first, but that'll come.
I think he's done extremely well. By not using credit, you've saved. That's the first step.
If you consider that he's typically 2,000 Rand in the red at the end of the month, by being 5 Rand in the black, he's 2,005 Rand better off than what he would have been. And if you consider the interest and finance charges on borrowing 2,000 Rand, it's even greater than that. That puts him in the absolute minority of South Africans who are able to actually save at the end of the month.
Well, going into the future, the first thing I want to do is settle my debts completely. Well, if you think about it, I'll have an extra 2,500 Rand every month if I settle my debt. And that's the first step to my dream in investing in property. Using my architectural skills to actually build my dream home one day. Well, I will probably have to get a loan out for my dream home anyway. But it's a good loan. It's a loan that's actually going to make me money in the future.
You can see that he's starting to think about money completely differently, and for the first time in this experiment, he's showing that he's thinking a bit more long term. He's not thinking about the money he's spending tomorrow. He's actually thinking about what his money can buy him over time.
Hope is not a plan. You can't dream your way to success. He started to understand the sacrifices that he'll now need to make in order to actually pursue that dream, and hopefully one day gets there, as opposed to being a 50-year-old with the same dream.
One thing for everyone to realize that one's home is a recreational asset. It's not an investment asset. He can't retire on his home. He still has to build other investments, but definitely he's on the right path. I think it's hit home hard for him.
Well, if you ever see me in the streets, don't ask me for 1 Rand. I'll definitely not have a 1 Rand on me. I'll be very happy not to see a coin for the rest of my life again.
It's not a direct link between being richer and being able to save. It's a direct link between making the active choice to save and being able to save.
Save at the beginning of your working career. Start saving your first salary as though it's contributing to your last. Because one of the amazing things in this world is compound interest or compound growth. And the money that you save at the beginning grows exponentially.
If you do that when you start a job or when you get an increase, you don't feel the impact of the increase on your daily life. When you've got a lifestyle and you have to cut back, then you feel it.
At the start of the month, put savings away first. And you say to yourself, this savings is an investment in my future.
Yeah, I like it.
Hey, how's it going?
Not bad anyway.
So tell me, how many 1 rands do you have left? Do you have it?
I actually have 5 1 rands left, and I think I'm actually going to take that 5 rand and frame that 5 rand in 1 rand coins, because it's the first time that I actually am in the black and I actually do have some money left. But yeah, you know why you're here? Don't keep me waiting any longer. I hope you got the key. Ach nee. Ach nee. Ah, thank God.
You should be very happy to receive this one.
Oh, thank you very much. Really appreciate the help through the month.
So you've got access to your wallet and all your cards again. So I assume you're going to think twice before using that credit card.
Absolutely, yes.
But obviously not today. You can start with that tomorrow.
I do owe you a couple of beers, so yeah. Go ahead, guys. Cue the angel music. I hope they're still in. Well, getting my internet banking and my cards back, it's definitely going to make my life a lot easier, a lot less admin. But I'll definitely look at things differently. I think this whole experience gave me a mindset of saving rather than spending. And that's something I'm going to take into the future.
To the 1 rand man.
To the 1 rand man.
Cheers.
At least I hope so.